Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Force Adventure with Boyan. I'm the Boyan in question, and today I will simply share like two little miracles that happened to me very recently, and this is a big call to action for you to share similar experiences. So what happened? I have two friends, and until quite recently, I must say, I've never really had like church friends. I did have a lot of friends who like attended church and so on. However, how should I say this? Uh, that was a secondary thing. However, with these two, in the sense of like our personal relationship, but with these two, I know them through church, and I get to meet one of them in the church, and the other one really became religious quite recently after a prolonged absence from the church. So anyway, whenever I meet with these two, it's rarely just hey, let's hang out somewhere. We go to the Divine Liturgy first. So we have two places here in Belgrade where they serve the daily liturgy, and we go to the liturgy and then we go for breakfast, coffee, and whatever. For the longest time, the three of us couldn't like arrange a singular date to hang out, and we finally managed to do so some 3 days ago. So I come to the church, and again, bear in mind, this is me coming to church in uh, in like forever, but in the sense of I attend like feast days, Sunday liturgies, maybe an occasional service here in my parish church, but that's about it. So I enter the church, I approach the venerating icon, and there's an icon of Saint Xenia of Petersburg, and I get really like shocked because she's one of the saints that I'm most devoted to. If you haven't seen my video, my experiences with following your passion and quitting my day job, there I go into more detail about a miracle that occurred to me through the intercession of Saint Xenia, and I love her a lot. However, I forgot to mark her feast day in my calendar, because I generally don't have a custom of following the church calendar for feast days. I simply wait for notifications by my chapel, so that I attend for feast days, and Saint Xenia isn't what we would call here in Serbia a red letter day, so I generally miss her feast day. So you can imagine my very pleasant surprise when I come to this church, and there it was, the icon of Saint Xenia, like beckoning me. I was simply beyond joyful, and I was like, what are the odds of this? Well, 1 in 365 or 66 if you count the leap day years. That was one. The second thing was, on that precise day, a friend of mine was in the US, and he was feeling really depressed because one of his connecting flights was really delayed, and if he missed that flight, that means that he would miss his flight to Serbia. He would be forced to stay in the United States for a day or two. I don't know how many more. And he was feeling tad ill. He was feeling really depressed because he really missed his family, and he's like, I'm beyond desperate, and like, listen, don't worry, today is her day. You won't miss a thing. We read an Ecatist to Saint Xenia, and he goes silent. He said that he hopes that some solution would be found, and then suddenly he comments two things. He said, hey, they managed to find a flight, and there might be an inkling of chance that I will make that Belgrade flight. So he rushes. He goes silent for I don't know how many, I know, an hour or two. He lands in, I think, New York, for example, and then he comments like, Boyan, you wouldn't believe, like, the flight here, it was like a teleport. Like, he had more than ample time to reach that Belgrade flight, but he also he was contacting this, you know, customer support rep from Serbia's flying company, and he sent me a screenshot, and the sales rep, they were chatting through Viber, and the sales rep was like, oh, I felt like I could hear that you were really worried, but her profile picture was her in the church. And he simply went into this, you know, a bit of a monologue, like how much does the Lord loves us, and how much Saint Xenia was endeared to him, because she never held back when it came to the Lord. And that is what ultimately a saint is. It is someone who does not hold back when she or he approaches the Lord. And yes, they might have, you know, a silly opinion here or there, but unlike the absolute majority of us, when it comes to God, they don't hold back. This is, I won't say this is this isn't like a miracle, but it's a definite weird case of synchronicity. Like 10 years ago, when I worked at a government job, I was the green thumb in the office, because I would have all of these, you know, plants in my office. So I was working my boring government desk job, and the guy from another department, who was the green thumb in his department, he comes in, and because both of us were fan of succulents, he brings me a jelly bean plant, which is quite a beautiful and unique looking succulent. And by the way, up until that point, I did not know that you could get this in Serbia. And he's like, hey, I got you a little something, and he places it in front of me, and I'm like, my mouth was agape, and I say to him, look on my computer screen, and he looks at it. The split second he came in and he placed that in front of me, I was looking on the Wikipedia page of the jelly bean plant. I have no clue what any of that means, but it was weird as all hell. So yeah, I think that, those daily miracles, I think that a lot of us religious people have a lot of these. For the major miracles, I think I only ever experienced 2, perhaps 3. And by the way, this is counting on my memory, which is always, you know, something to be questioned, one. And the second thing is, of course, the Lord knows how many times He has, for example, saved my skin and so on. And this is something that I always keep saying. When I die, and if I make it to the kingdom, one of the first things I'll ask after I go through all of the motions of thanking Him and asking Him to forgive me and everything, is to ask Him, how many times were I near death and you spared me? Because I'm simply curious about that, and that's about it. Hope you guys, I see you guys in the next video, and remember, please share if you have any of these like little singular miracles that really meant a lot to you. Bye.